Okay, so picking up from the last video, I didn't do a lot to this image, and again, I'm not really looking for you to do a lot to these images. I just want you to have some basic control and command over editing these images in Lightroom. So I'm kind of calling this one done for now. Now what I want to do is I want to send this file off to my teacher. So I'm not editing in Photoshop, so I don't have a PSD and all the layers. Again, we're not really talking a lot about Photoshop this semester. So what you want to do is you're going to want to send me this file. Now keep in mind that back over here in our folder that we talked about, here is my image 9991, and if you just send this image off to me, as you can see from the preview, you're not going to have all this work that you've done here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to Lightroom, and if I click on Lightroom Classic at the top here, basically what we're looking to go to is Catalog Settings. And in Catalog Settings, you're going to want to go to Metadata, so General File Handling Metadata. And then here's the editing option you want to click is automatically write changes to an XMP file. So once I click that, I can close this out. Now when I go back to my folder here, I not only have my file with the 9991, my raw file, I also have an XMP file that's associated with it. So if you're editing like this in Lightroom, whenever you go to send the image to me, what I would suggest, maybe perhaps this might be easiest, is I can hold Shift and click both of these, and I can do a basic Control-C or Command-C to copy them. Then I could go back to my desktop, and then I could just simply paste them to my desktop. Maybe put these in a folder, and you can send these via WeTransfer. Again, you're looking for 8 images to be sent to me. So if you're going to send these to me, I want to see those raw files and some of the basic edits that you made there. That's going to be rather helpful in me directing you in the future. So hopefully that kind of clarifies that process. You want to make sure that you have your XMPs when you send them to me. Now, there's another issue, is that you want to post these to the OneDrive. So one extra step we might do for this, going back to Lightroom here, if I go ahead and want to send this to the OneDrive, a JPEG is probably going to be the best option to do this. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm selected on this image here, I'm in the Develop module, I'm going to go under File and Export. And here I'm going to get a rather complicated dialog box. We're not going to be utilizing all aspects of this. Biggest thing here is it's asking me where to export it to. I already have this set up to my desktop. Personally, I like to use my desktop as just a holding area. I might put things on there, and then I'll transfer them to the other areas of my hard drive that I actually want them to reside in, or external hard drive. So here I'm just going to keep it to my desktop. I can change the subfolder. By default, it's just telling me Untitled Export. I'm going to leave that for right now. And then really there's not much else we need to change, because here it's already set to a JPEG here. If I look through these options here under File Settings, that's where I have the JPEG. I'm going to bring the quality up on this, and we have options of changing it to a PSD, TIFF, etc. Again, if you're not on JPEG, I would just say click JPEG for this. We're not even worried about color space or resizing or anything of that nature. So that's really all we need to do, and I can export this. And now when I go to back to my desktop, I have this folder called Untitled Export, and whenever I double click on that, here is my JPEG that I just exported, that I can now, along with the other images, I can post to the OneDrive. So hopefully that gives clarity, and hopefully this is a relatively simple process that you might understand in kind of handling some of your files. Keep in mind that as we did all these things, the ones on my desktop here, these were copied and pasted, and this one here is exported, meaning that everything in our original folder here with our original files, none of these are affected. So we still have the original unedited image in our hard drive that we can always go back to and kind of revisit. So certainly let me know if you have further questions on this process.